Wanted to show you one of I feel like I always say this, one of my favorite apps. This is Book Creator, and yes, it is one of my favorite things to use when teaching traditionally or virtually. I wanted to show you a couple of the things, why I really like it, and how you can use it with your students. So I am currently logged in through Office 365, and I clicked on libraries so that you can see all of my libraries. I do have a couple different libraries. You have a private library, and then depending on what level account you have will determine how many libraries you can have. So I do have a whole book or a whole library of templates that I can share with all of you. If you are interested, just reach out. But I want to show you how to create with your students and a couple of the things that I do. So the first thing you're going to do is go to create a new library. I'm just going to call this thing, and then you can decide which things you want to keep on. So I usually keep on the Google image search. I let them edit their own books. I typically turn this off until we are completely finished the books. I do enable collaboration if students are working together. Otherwise, I turn that off. Even if the collaboration is off, I can still see their books. And I don't usually let them publish their books online until the very end. Now that I have that, I'm going to choose Create Library. I'm going to click into my library. To get your students into your library, you will click on Invite Code, and then you are going to share this code with your students. So once they log in through Office 365, it is going to allow them to get into this library. So I'm going to choose New Book. Now, Book Creator came out with a couple of different things. Usually when I am creating a book, I use the 4:3 comic just because I like creating templates for my students, and that way they have some structure. But Book Creator did just come out with a bunch of different templates that they already have done and created for you. So if you wanted your students to create a newspaper, notebook, a fiction book, a textbook, cookbook, photo book, there's templates there. And then there's these additional themes. I'm going to show you, we'll say the newspaper, just so I can show you what the template would look like. But essentially, the template looks like this. Students can then click and change the words. Add pictures. And you can also add additional layouts depending on how you want to proceed. So I'm going to go back and show you how I usually use this. So I usually will go into New Book. And like I said, I use Comic. And in Comic, if you click on the plus sign, there's these different panels. When you are adding these panels in, they come pre-locked, but I usually will unlock them and then delete certain parts that I don't need. This allows me to create a template that I would like the students to use and really allows them to easily add files or pictures. And then I sometimes will add in a text box up here that just is like right here, or depending on their grade level, they can just figure out that that's where they need to write. So another reason why I really like using Book Creator, especially the online version, is when I click on the plus sign, you can add in all these different things like speech bubbles, so you can make comics and stickers. There's the media, so you can add in videos, camera, or picture. They can draw, they can add text, and they can record. But if you go into import, it also is going to bring up a Google search. So if I wanted them to write about a penguin, it is going to bring up some penguin pictures. Then they can click on it and add it right into their book. They can also, if they go to import, search for different places around the world and add that in. You could add other files in, things from Google Drive, and you can also embed things such as YouTube videos. So that is just one way that students can use it. They can write things, they can add some simple pictures. They can also, if you go to media and click on pen, they can use all these drawing tools. The auto draw is usually one of my favorite things. Now, I'm not really great at doing this, but if I start drawing a tree, you can kind of see at the top, it's going to give me some pre-drawn objects that I can choose from. So it'll change my drawing into clip art, basically. Another thing they can do is add in emojis from here, or they could just use the regular pen. The last thing is if you go to shapes, they added this new feature where these are essentially icons. So if I wanted to type in a bucket, I just search for it, and it's going to give me all these different pictures of buckets. So maybe I'm talking about the beach. So I want this one. Once it's in, you can also hit the eye. There we go. And change the color of it. So for primary and for intermediate, this is great because it does add some extra dimension to what they are doing rather than it just being them drawing or finding images from Google. Another thing is when you go to text, you can add it from here or through media. I'm just going to click on this one so I can show you a couple of things. If you are creating an article, if you click on the eye, you can add some extra columns in there. You can change the color and the font, but there's a lot of different things that you can do. As I said, I use this for a lot of different things, but this is why it's one of my favorites because there's so many different things that you could do, that you can add. It makes it easy for the kids, and it's just great. And my students' lives easier. So as I said at the beginning, I typically create templates for my kids just to give them some more structure and to make things just go a little more smoothly while I'm teaching. So I'm going to show you just a couple of templates that I have used for students that you are more than welcome to and that you can utilize and change for your own students. So this one right here is for animals. I have used this for animal research projects, for Legos. Someone I believe is using it for desk pets. But this entire template allows students to write in certain sections and then know exactly where to put their picture. So that's one thing I've used. I go back to my books. This is an All About Me book creator introduction. This is how I typically try to teach all the different things that I want primary students to do. I have used this for older grades as well, just because it's something super quick, but also allows you to kind of hit on all of the different tools that Book Creator has. This one is an alphabet book. that I have used for my own daughters, and I've also used for vocabulary. So all of these pages are linked to other pages within Book Creator. So as they go through, there's the A, B, so on. This one's already done, ready for you to use, and you can also just delete pages if you need to. Students can add pictures. They can draw pictures. They can add their voice saying it, whatever you want to use it for. I've used this for Quest projects. So this one is for our prosthetics unit. This one was actually a group project. So students collaborate together and they go through the whole engineering design process using the Book Creator app. So this could really be used for anything. I've used it for math. I've used this for TDAs. I've used this for so many different things. So the possibilities are endless. And again, that's why I love it so much. So like I said, feel free to reach out to me with any questions or if you want to learn more about it. I hope you enjoy, have fun, and let me know if you try out Book Creator.